Greetings everyone and welcome to Outlaws of Thunder Junction draft. The set has been out for quite a long by the time you are watching this video, but I'll still make one video of week of this standard set until the next set releases. Here are all the rares, let's say, are not bum rares. The step between worlds is actually quite unplayable in my opinion. Bedevil is, a good card, but it's two colors. You have to at least splash for red and be main color black to play this. I think the Unfortunate Accident is the better removal spell to pick out of this pack, and it is going to be the pick because removal is pretty important in this set, which features a lot of bomb creatures you just have to take care of until, or you might lose to that bomb alone. Trash the Town is a potential 2 for 1, 3 for 1, but it's also a little bit more clumsy card, so I'm taking the removal spell, which will work fine in any black deck. And there's an easy black card here. The Blood Hustler is a really good 2-drop. It's very easy to pick up counters even without using the 4 mana option, and of course if this somehow survives until later in the game, you can still have a very nice mana sink with the 4 mana ability. It is better card than the Servant of the Stinger, yeah, there's like another removal spell here, but there's no reason to take a non-black card here when I get such a good quality black card after starting with a black card. Notion Thief is a special quest card, but I have picked 4 of these in the drafts. Of course, by the time you see this video, I have a long time ago made my video about completing the set, but I'm actually recording this quite a bit in advance. Anyway, there is an easy pick here, Honest Rutstein. It's a 2-color card, but of course, it shares my 2 earlier picks, and it is the best card in the pack. It is better than the removal spell that Terminal Agony is, which could be an acceptable pick. I don't know, maybe I could consider the mono black 2-drop over the 2-color card, but the Honest Rutstein is just so much better than anything else in the pack that it is an easy pick, and I think it's very easy to follow up with a Throw from the Saddle. I don't know how open green is going to be because it quite often just isn't open, but I have now 2 very nice green cards which are both splashable, so let's keep that in mind. There's not really any reason to take anything else than this green card after I took the Rutstein already. And here... I don't think I'm gonna take the Bristleback Sentry. Rutstein is actually an outlaw, so you could consider the Crew here. This is an outlaw too, this produces an outlaw. Crew could be considered, but I think it's safer to just take them on as a surprise. It's actually also quite fantastic with Rutstein. When Rutstein, goes to graveyard, you can bring it back, and then Rutstein brings something back. So this is, I think, a nice pick here, considering what I have there. Wow. Okay, no black card in here, which might be just randomness. Not all the packs have a lot of, of certain color. I'm not too concerned yet. I have 4 good black cards in here, but there is the choice between the Bandit and the Throw from the Saddle number 2. I think I still take the removal, but I would not mind having the Bandit. But yeah, I'm gonna take the removal here. And here, okay, the best card in the pack is the Trained Rings. It's really good, but I'm not taking the white card here, even though I might be like white-black splashing for green. I'm just going to actually take a green card here. The Desecrator isn't that great. The Throw from the Saddle does benefit from Mount, so this actually becomes a permanent 5/3 when you combine it with it. And it is actually a good card with the Ankle Biter too, because of course this effect with the Death Toucher is good. But then again, this will have, 5 power with the Throw from the Saddle, so I'm gonna take the 3-drop creature here. And there's a Patient Naturalist, very easy pick, especially because, there's an Honest Rutstein and the Surprise, which already, benefit from me milling cards from the deck. Tornado would be a fine sideboard card, but this is, actively good for the cards I've picked. Okay, black actually got a little bit cut here, but I'm I have 4 black cards, and in pack 2 it might be open. Here the question is, am I taking the commando or the reach for the sky? I think I'll just still take the creature. I have 50-50 creatures and non-land, so I better have a creature here around. It's not amazing, but it's fine totally. Fake Your Own Death combines well with some of the stuff. Re-triggering this thing. Actually, it's very good with the commando. Because this will come back with the counters if this Fake Your Own Death brings it back. I don't think I care about the Link Breaker or the Reach for the Sky that much. The Keykeeper is fine, but I'm trying to stick to black and green. We can take the Tumbleweed Rising in case. I guess I have some high power creatures. This might be playable, but we'll see how the deck ends up. I take the uncommon over the common. This is technically playable, but usually it's not a main deckable card in this kind of a deck. Okay, there's a Murder, there's a Desert Stew. I have no deserts though, so Murder is definitely the pick over the Desert Stew. But is it the pick from this pack? Because there's a Smuggler's Surprise. It is nice. You can get some 2-for-1 action with this. Sometimes you can combine the first and the last mode. You know, it will cost a total of 5 mana to get, you know, cards while making some creature that has 4 power or more, you know, not die when it is about to die. And you can get some kind of tempo in the same process. But I think Murder, just being straight up destroy a creature, I like it a little bit more. I have already the Rutstein for card advantage. Alright, I'm taking the Murder here. And here. Not very exciting, given that the black and green options aren't that amazing. The Commando is kind of a 4-drop. I could take another one of those. I'm not sure if I should take the Gardener or the... maybe actually I'm taking the Backwoods. I have only one thing that benefits from committing crimes, but it's a really nice one. And of course I can get some red cards that I want to splash. Yeah, I mean, I would take like a Commando from this pack over the Gold Rush. So I'm taking the Desert here now. I also might find some other things that care about committing crimes. Alright, let's take it. And there's another copy of an Honest Rutstein. That's an easy pick from a, you know, fairly unexciting pack, not counting this card, which is very exciting to have. It actually seems that black is cut from this direction as well. The only black card being the Desecrator is not great. There is a good pick for me. The Dance of the Tumbleweeds is actually a really good green card. It's the easy pick, but I suppose I have 7 black cards. There's some white going on here, but I have the Murder, and this is also like a double black card because the Destroy option requires 2 black. I'm not going to just splash for black. I'm gonna play main color black, so I'm taking this and ignoring the white here that I'm getting past. And I'm getting past more good white. There are actually 2 pretty good white cards in here. Well, I'm actually taking the Jagged Barrens with only one, you know, card that cares about crimes. It's not that amazing, but now I have actually 2 ways to produce red, so I might splash for something red. Also have the Dance of the Tumbleweeds to fix for red. So I'm taking this, and I'm playing it regardless because I have the Blood Hustler. Rise of the Vermin is like, okay, I don't think I care about second copy of this thing right now. Reach for the Skies, not that necessary. Alright, nothing for me, I get it. Sandstorm Verge. I mean, can my mana afford it? Because I can fetch it with the Dance of the Tumbleweeds. I'm not really excited about this particular card. I don't even have that many creatures. And I have one of these already. So I might actually take this if I want to, you know, have the option to have this kind of a land. Alright, so I got the Raven of Fell Omen, which I'm happy to take. The Avarice is a little bit clumsy with the triple black, so I'm not considering that a very good card. But I can take this now, and also it's another reason to, you know, benefit from these ping deserts. I'm happy to have it. Also, I don't mind having just a 2-drop in general here. I think I'm pretty low on them. Gardener. Yeah, this is this could be my red splash, but I just don't think I want to go there. But look at my creature count, it's very low. I have nothing that costs more than like 4 if I consider the commander as a 4-drop. I'm taking the pulverizer. I don't really want to play it, but hey, it's possible I need to have something that, you know, has a bit bigger size here. I don't like the varmints in this deck because my creature count seems to be pretty low. That said, I don't think the gardener is amazing either. I have some self-mill that could do something. The reach for the sky is just not that great. I'm taking this maybe for the sideboard. This is... yeah, I'm not splashing those things. This is like a playable card, but I'm easily cutting it. Right. Alright, pack 2 was disappointing. But we'll see what pack 3 has for us. Okay, there's a free Strider Lookout, there's a Throw from the Saddle, Spinewoods Paladin, another Ping Desert. A decent amount of options, but it's pretty hard to not take the Lookout. So, I'm taking this. And I think I might actually take the... Let's consider the situation that this card wasn't here. I would actually take the Paladin over a third copy of the Throw from the Saddle, because I feel like I need some, you know, bigger creatures here. So... but this is still gonna be the pick. It's a very nice way to get lands from your deck. Oh, don't like to make this decision. I'm happy about getting a very good card here, but both of these are pretty good cards. I'm taking the Armadillo because I actually need more of this kind of a high impact card. Then yet another removal spell. Also, I can discard this early and I have a base to bring it back. So that's actually nice synergy. You know, on turn 2, fetch a land if I need one. Turn 3, play the Rutstein, get this thing back. And even, you know, this will be a 5-mana card as long as the Rutstein survives. So that's actually an easy peek over the accident now that I think of it. Hollow Marauder is good. There's a Festering Gulch, a ping land that actually fixes my mana. I'm not taking the Skewer the Critics here. There's also the Raven of Fell Omens and Hollow Marauder. This is a tough one. I think I'm still taking the Marauder because it's such a nice 2-for-1 most of the time. If they discard something that has a mana value of 4 or greater, that's... I mean, this is the 2-for-1, of course, in that case too, but it can be a 3-for-1. Yeah, but I'm taking the Marauder over the Gulch, which I think would be my second option over the Raven, perhaps. But anyway, this is my pick now. Vraska Joins Up is not exactly that great. If I had a lot of legendary creatures, let's say like 5, maybe, but I think I have like these Rutsteins and that's it. So I don't really reliably draw any cards. So it's not worth the spending a card just to get the Death Touch counters. Alright, but the Stubborn Burrow Fiend is definitely nice. Yeah, the milling actually is good with the double Rutstein and the surprise here. That's nice synergy with the deck. You know, in addition to the fact that I still want to have access to more 2-drops. Right, look at this pack. Unfortunate Accident, Consuming Ashes, Throw from the Saddle, and still something good like the Mona's Surprise. Well, I will get only one of these. This pack isn't gonna come back to me. Exile and Surveil can matter, but this can give you the extra guy. It's a tough choice, I would say, but I think I'll take this still. Here. Okay, I don't care about any of this, really. How many creatures? It's still only 12. So do I want to have like a Corrupted Conviction for the sideboard, you know, against like a removal heavy deck? I could just take the Sterling Hound too, just to have a 3-drop. And also the Surveil can benefit with something. I really don't want to play the Pulverizer, so I'm taking the Hound actually. It's a 3-drop I can always play on turn 3. And here 3 options. Still I'm getting past these great white 2-drops. This is more like a sideboard card. I have now some deserts, so this might give you like -3, -3. But I think I might take the Raven of Fell Omens still. I'm taking the Raven here. Another Raven. Well, I'm still taking it, but maybe now I could choose to take the, you know, not the other card than the Raven from the previous pack if I knew I'm gonna get past. one of those. I might actually take the Desecrator. I don't have really many 4-drops, and it is a passable 4-drop. Binding Negotiation isn't gonna be that interesting, so I might just play the Desecrator here, I think. Sentry, Surgical Extraction, one last job. I have like, how many mounts? 2, not many. So, I guess I have an aura too, but I'm taking that Surgical Extraction for sideboard. It's rarely gonna be used, but it can be good in some situations. Okay, I got all the Raven of Fell Omens I wanted. Skullduggery, totally playable card. Another Reach for the Sky. I have a Lava Spurred Boots here anyway, so I'd rather have maybe 2 of these if I really want to have them. Okay, I will be cutting the Pulverizer from the main deck. And now this 31 cards. I have 16 creatures. I will cut mostly non-creatures. There are easy choices like the Fake Your Own Death, at least the first one. Tumbleweed Rising is just unnecessary here. Gold Rush, not needed. These gonna always cost at least 3 mana. Well, these always at least 2, but you really want to use the 4 or 5 mana options for this card, so I'm gonna put it there. Commando is maybe a 4-drop more often than not. So any automatic cuts, I usually don't mind having one Fake Your Own Death in a deck, especially because I have some. Well, is there like an actual? Well, it's nice to re-trigger the Rutstein, of course. And just save your good things, like, you know, the Spinewood Armadillo, the Marauder is also very nice to re-trigger. Kinda care about this a little bit. I could cut the Skullduggery. I have but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 removal spells at least. Yes. And the thing is that this is not always great. I like this card the most when I know the opponent is running at least some 1 toughness creatures that are, you know, impactful, not necessarily just some random freebie, you know, those tokens, mercenary tokens. So I like this as a sideboard card. It's gonna be cut, and I can cut 1 Reach for the Sky 2. 16 creatures, 9 non-creatures. Also, I should consider the, you know, how many lands I'm going to play, because I think I can actually function with 16 lands, and I'm not going to main deck the Sandstone Words. It's, you know, making my mana worse because it only produces colorless. But I can play 16 lands because I have the Spinewood Armadillo as a sort of a way to get an extra land, assuming I have access to green, and the same applies for the Patient Naturalist. So I think I should be playing 16 lands in the configuration where I play 9. I don't have any dual lands. I will have 9 green sources and 7 black sources, because I have green cards that can help me get the black mana and also the Lookout, because I guess I can have Throw from the Saddle and the Bristling Backwoods at least to, you know, trigger this thing without having access to black mana. Also, the Dance of the Tumbleweeds can fetch me one of these deserts to trigger the Lookout. Alright, anyway, one more card. I think it could be the 4th copy of the Raven of Fell Omens. I'm not sure actually in the end how good of a Raven of Fell Omens deck this is. I have some, you know, targeting, of course. This is a repeated targeting, so that's like one reason to maybe play the card. But I'm not gonna make my mana worse because of that. So let's see. I have 2 lands that help me with the with these triggers. Then I have a bunch of spells that throw from the saddle. I guess the Blood Hustler does work when you activate the 4 mana thing. This can get me a land that pings. The Murder pings. These things trigger. These things trigger it. Yeah, I have fairly decent amount of crime committing. I could see maybe cutting more of these if I really want my 2-drops to actually be able to brawl with the opponent's creatures. I mean, 1-2 isn't exactly a stat line that fights well with creatures, but I hope my other cards do the fighting, and this can be like a source of damage that is fairly cheap. Damage and life loss. Alright, that is the main deck, and now I will do exactly what I said. So this is gonna propose, of course, a 17 land configuration, and I want to play, in fact, more green than black for the reasons I mentioned. So this is now 9 ways to get my green stuff active, and 7 ways to get black stuff active, but I have 2 green cards. Maybe 3 if you count this, but at least 2 green cards. No, actually 3, because I forgot this thing too, so or did I? Dance of the Tumbleweeds gets me black. Yeah, well, no, I actually, and yes, I forgot this, because I was talking about only the Spinewoods, Armadillo, and the Naturalist earlier, but I also have this thing that gets me black. So the 7 black sources is not, 7 because, well, if I don't have access to black sources, I definitely have access to green sources. I wouldn't have kept the hand otherwise. So this is 3 additional cards that can get me potentially, black mana. Alright. So this configuration for the colored sources is totally acceptable. That is the main deck. On the play, okay, nice hand. 2-drop, 3-drop. Probably also this as a 4-drop. Plotting. The opponent goes for a mulligan, kept 6. Link Breaker, alright, Jagged Barrens. I have, 3 cards that can pick creatures from the graveyard, so I should definitely be saddling as much as I can. So, well, let's first start with this. This will mill some creatures, hopefully. Well, it did not. Let's take the forest, swamp, because I have 3 forests here already. I'm going to just go for this and see if I can. Okay, there was 1 creature that I milled, and I have, of course, like I said, 3 ways to bring it back, because this is a strong card I'm definitely interested in having back in my hand. So now they have a free reign on attacking. They get the Desert Ping counter for the Hustler. So this Naturalist, of course, could have been a blocker here. Now I take 3 damage, whereas I might have taken no damage if I didn't go for the saddle. But for some reason the opponent is choosing to not attack at all. I'm gonna play the swamp here, because now my murder is active, and I don't want to. I know I could have played the Raven and this to get, play the tapped land and get the trigger out of it. But I of course want to use my mana on this thing. But now I have the option to use also the murder if they have some triggers. So I'm gonna just again be the aggressive player, and I will mill what? Oh, sadly no creatures, and I actually lost one of the ways to, in fact, get back the big thing there. But anyway, let's see what happens now. I wouldn't mind trading with the Hustler here, so I'm not gonna try any tricks here if they are going to have a double block here. So let's see. I'm gonna of course respond with a murder if they choose to do something, but this is fine. They get their 1-1, and I get my next turn 5-5 here. Hopefully one of the honest Rutsteins will be drawn, so I can get the Armadillo back. Okay, they can choose to either get rid of the murder or the commando, because this works so that if I have exiled face-up cards, they can also choose to deal with that, but they didn't want me to have access to murder there. Okay, so I'm gonna play the Raven and the land and the commando this turn, so let's just go for attacks. Don't really care about the Naturalist if something happens to it. Let's do this right away. This is always gonna happen, and then I will be doing this, and sadly I'm still having these lands. But I have, 16 lands in the deck, and how many in the graveyard? 1, 2, 3 in the graveyard. I mean, total number of lands is 16, so this is 3 plus 5 plus 2, it is 10. So I have 6 lands and 16 spells. I have a fairly decent number of spells. The opponent isn't doing anything yet. I did draw a good card. This is a lot of damage if they, or they have to just jump block with the commander, but I'm suspecting they have the 4 mana 2/2 flyer that has lifelink and you know, kill something that took damage that turn. Now I can attack with my Raven into it, because if they for some reason choose to play that and block it, I can actually use this. But I'm gonna lose my commando. I'm going to lose my commando if they have that. So I'm actually considering here just not attacking with the commando right now. They have 3 cards in their hand. Okay, I'm tempted to just do like this right now. See what they do. Okay, they are gonna block the naturalist. Alright, so that's actually good, because now I have my command. I'm pretty certain now that that's exactly the card they're gonna have. So they get to kill the... Oh! Well, I mean, now I don't know what's going on anymore. I can kill that. It has ward 3, but I don't have to get the full mode. I can't kill it right now, but I have a land in my hand, so that allows me to kill it without... I need to use only 4 mana on this spell, so that I can cast the ward, pay for the ward here. So I missed out on 2 damage on the previous turn, but I'm also happy that they didn't have the flyer there. But yeah, let's now do this. I think the reason, the fact you know, the fact that I kept my 5/5 back was still, I think, a good choice to play around that particular card. And they still went for the jump block on the 2/3, which is kind of funny, because they could have taken the 2 and now jump block the 5/5, but oh well. Anyway, they are of course in the ropes now. They have to have some bum effect now. Maybe they just flood it out. Ankle biter, well, it will trade with the commando, but not when this thing happens. I'm gonna actually do this. If they have something to remove the... Yeah, okay, this is game over now. I know I could have gone with the... I could have pumped the Raven of Fell Omens, because then it would have had 2 power as well and be a lethal attacker, but my... Excuse me. I wanted to leave my flyer that has, you know, the crime ability as well, to have it intact. Because if they have a response, I'd rather them still to kill the naturalist than the Raven of Fell Omens, because if they don't have a response, I probably win anyway. So it was better idea to use the least impactful card on my side for this throw from the saddle. Alright, so they probably flooded out a little bit, or they have even more colors than they couldn't cast on. Well, they ended up with only 1 card in their hand, so maybe that was just a slight flood. They have the armadillo, but I have multiple answers on it, assuming I can have mana for the ward, which is 3, of course. Skullduggery does not seem like it's particularly good. It is good against the biter and good against this before it gets the first counter, but it's not very reliable to count on that. I don't really care about using the Skullduggery on the link breaker or the token it spawns. Reach for the sky. I don't think anything is particularly bad in here. I might just, you know, have the same deck, because what would I do if I want to sideboard something in with, what would it even be, like a Tumbleweed Rising, another Reach for the Sky? There's nothing that is particularly good in here, so I'm gonna have the same deck. Okay, I'm on the draw, and both colors 2 lands, but I have a 2-drop. If I get a 3rd land, yeah, I think this is good enough. I can also cast the Fake Your Own Death. I can use this just to get the mercenary if I really need to spend my mana. Yeah, I think it was a good keep. So now the question is, am I gonna play? I think the most likely play on the next turn is gonna be the naturalist. The opponent is missing the green mana right now. Alright, well that's gonna be fantastic. Let's see what I'm milling with this thing. I do hope it's one land. I'd rather have a permanent land than than a treasure token. Alright, so now I have something to pick up with the Rutstein. They have a Blood Hustler, I have removal on it. They are still missing the green mana. I'm just gonna go with the commando plotting here. There's no reason to do any otherwise. I know I could double spell because the Rutstein makes my things cheaper. Skullduggery on there. Okay, that's actually fine because I'm gonna use the Reach for the Sky in here. I don't even need to use the Unfortunate Accident. I know I could even use the Fake Your Own Death, but I actually like to make my 5/5 here. This will survive the combat because it will have 4 toughness. That was fantastic. Now if this gets dealt with, I'm gonna draw a card from this thing anyway. Yeah, that was really fantastic. So I'm not doing this right now. They have a lively dirge. They can get a 4-drop or they can get another 2-drop and then bring that and the Blood Hustler back. I suppose also a 1-drop works. They have the Death Touch thing. Okay, that can add them green mana. That said, they only have like 2 cards in their hand. I don't think I want to use the only removal I have right now on the Stable Master. I think I should just let them. I should probably just let them cast their stuff and use the removal on some actual meaningful things. They can just draw a forest anytime anyway. Oh, nothing. There's no reason to do anything pre-combat. Let's just attack here. And then I have to decide how to proceed. I guess I can just play the Rutstein and the Lookout. I don't have to get the thing here back. And I'm gonna get the Blood Hustler. It's kind of a must kill for them. So, yeah. Let's do exactly this, because this will make the Lookout cheaper, of course. There's that, and then there's this. I know I could have plotted this, but I like this use of mana better now. Next turn I can plot this and play the Blood Hustler if there's no need to use the other spells I have. Okay, and they drew the forest, so I'm very happy I didn't go for a kill on that thing. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna play the forest right away, and then if I play the Blood Hustler, I don't have the double black for this thing, so is that something I should avoid? Because, of course, I would like to have the Blood Hustler on the battlefield when I'm going to use the accident, because then I will get the trigger to get a counter, but that's not really worth it. They can make this into a 2/2 by committing a crime, and they can commit a crime by just using the ability. I do have the Fake Your Own Death here still. Don't know how important this is. Okay, I'm just gonna still attack with everything and let's see what they do. They do have 2 cards in their hand as well. I cannot use both of these tricks. Okay, Gigapede. That's going to kill the Rutstein, I think. So now, of course, I could use the Fake Your Own Death, but that would only bring back the Raven of the Llamas, which is good, but maybe not worth it. So let this thing go away. Do I want to use the Unfortunate Accident before blocks? Probably not. I'm gonna let them block. Let's see how they block. That's fine. I get my card here, and I will just plot this thing and play the Hustler. There's no reason to do anything otherwise. This is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna plot this regardless, and I'm gonna play the Blood Hustler here. I'm at 19, and I still have the removal for this if this kind of starts to get out of hand. Okay, Sentry is not a scary one. They don't have 8 mana yet, so they cannot do it twice in a turn cycle yet. This thing adds mana, but yeah, they are still missing some. So now oh, they're gonna go for the race. That's a brave strategy. Still can't do both. I guess I can. Yeah, this can make a treasure token, and this treasure token does not enter tapped. Some effects create a tapped treasure token. So this seems easy now. Just attack with both of these, and they're gonna block in there. And I think I might wanna save this now. It might not be that necessary though. I might actually just let it go, in fact. The Fake Your Own Death is quite good with this, because it will return this guy as a 5/5, because you don't be using it. I won't be casting it even. So, alright, let's make it a little different. I'm going to wait a minute. 6/7 mana. If I want to cast the Grizzly, I can't get the 1/1. I'm gonna kill the Blood Hustler, that's for sure. So if I have a land drop I can make still, but if I use 5 mana on this, I will not be able to cast the Grizzly. So I think it's better to miss out on the 1/1. And I'm doing this now because I want to have my land from the lookout, and of course grow the Hustler. But now I will just yeah, I don't have the 1/1. This trade is fine. Play this, and of course play the Commando, and now they are top decking, and of course my board is superior to theirs, and yep, I'm not concerned at all. 6 mana, 7 mana. Well, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this like immediately just to get the counter. And I suppose I'm offering the trade with the Grizzly. I'm not sure if I even need to, you know, use the Fake Your Own Death. It doesn't seem like it's necessary, because they're gonna go to 2, and then of course they're gonna go to 1 when I'm gonna use this ability again. And they would need some kind of a rat effect, which isn't really available for those colors, I don't think. Okay. Alright, I'm keep getting these good hands. Always good for your chance to win. Alright, so I might actually go for this on the next turn if there's... I mean, I will be rather playing this on 3 than doing nothing. Well, that does change things, because I can now play this tapped land, get my counter on the Hustler, and have the plot plan guaranteed on the next turn. They are having Wolverine. Okay, good. Just plot this, attack for 2. Looking good. I have the second swamp for the murderer also now. They can get a card to play, which they need an island, and they do have it. Okay. They have it. That actually was not a 3 for 1. This one card gave them a creature that also drew a card for them. That is pretty nice for them for sure. Now, that said, they're still okay, because I can go for a throw from the saddle here. This is gonna deal 4 to the Loan Shark, because you know it's gonna get the counter and the temporary effect, and then I can have the murderer up here. Murderer can be had up because I will play the Commando, of course, and then have this won't cost any mana. So they have a lot of cards, but I might be able to tempo them out unless most of their cards interact with my creatures. Like the double bounce spell could be really annoying right now that blue has. So please don't have that. Geyser Drake is not anything I'm concerned about. I think I'm gonna go for the murder because I can't double spell the reach for the sky and the murder on the next turn even with the land drop, so I should use my mana efficiently. And of course the 3-2 is slightly more annoying than the 2-3, so I'm gonna, although this thing makes their spells cheaper on my turn, and he's gonna pick up a counter anyway when I target that. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna give them the discount, so let's do this and force them to do something if they have. Okay, it seems like they had nothing. And now, of course, this is... They might actually need to jump block. I mean, now this is one of the situations where Magic Arena, you know, makes it possible that I'm pretty sure the reach for the sky will be a winning play now, because it's gonna be +3 damage and they take 12. That said, I can't just go for the Blood Hustler, you know, activation, and they go to 1 and then I can activate it again on their turn. In their upkeep even. I don't think there's like a life gain that easily. They have a planes, but I do think I'm gonna... Because it seems like they passed their priorities. This would be an immediate win, but I'm gonna assume they might have something in response, so I'm gonna put an upkeep stop there. Oh, that's not actually gonna work. I kind of forgot I don't have 8 mana. Oh man. Well, in that case, let's go for this. Come on. It's gonna work. Yeah, if I had 8 mana, of course, my plan would have worked, but now they would have been remained at 1, and who knows if they have some kind of way to clear the board, and I have no way to deal the remaining 1 ever. Okay, so it seems like it's blue-red, and the plains is for some kind of a splash. Now, I didn't see anything for the Skullduggery there. They saw a reach for the sky, so I'm not really that excited about siding another one in. And I think my main deck is pretty good. It doesn't have like any weak cards. Even the Sterling Hound has some meaning, you know, it can surveil some creatures to graveyard, which I can pick up with the Rutstein or the Surprise. Yeah, I don't want to cut anything, so I'm gonna use the same deck right now. Alright, no green this time, but I have a playable thing. If I could draw any land, I can play the Desecrator and this 4 mana option here. And the Hustler is quite good, and of course I can just draw a forest. I have basically 9 lands that produce green in the deck, so I'm gonna keep it. It's a little bit risky, but also with the number of playables I have here, I think it's fine. Because mulliganing to you know, mulligan in general just isn't gonna guarantee a better hand. You can just have a like 1 lander or a 6 lander at 6, you know, cards, and then you are kind of forced to go to 5 or keep a really bad hand. This at least is a hand that can, you know, work. Can work. Alright. Not the greatest, you know, combination to get 2 swamps in particular, but at least I can play my things. Okay, they're gonna get 1 once from this thing. They got their nice turn 3 basics. And there's a slick sequence which is going to give them a 1/1, and yeah, I can't, you know, sack this or anything, but I'm gonna save it. Also, this will give me a treasure token, so I'm gonna be able to get 1 green spell cast with that. It's not the greatest because they got the card from here. They got the... I guess the roundup has so far only created 1 token for them, but it's only gonna get worse. Alright, Raven of Fell Omens. So I can attack now because they don't have a good block unless they have a trick. Well, I'm gonna be a little bit of risky here. Yeah, because if they block, I can just use the Hustler's own ability. I'd rather just play, of course, the Desecrator here now. The Burrow Fiend isn't that important that I need to play it immediately. It's possible they have the red spell that can deal 4 damage and destroy an artifact at 5 mana. It would be annoying because then I will lose the treasure, but let's hope it's not gonna be that. Actually, they got a good target for it as well. Hypothesis, okay, they can discard a non-land card to kill either of these things. The Desecrator can actually create me more tokens if I sack Outlaws like this, but okay. I think they should attack because, I mean, I don't mind if they go for a block here at all. So. I can't really play this pre-combat because I'm not going to. If I play this and the swamp, yes, I can still activate this, but I would need to use the, this thing for it. I'd rather use the treasure for the naturalist, of course. So the question is, am I gonna slow down here? Because they might actually go for the block. I don't mind. If they go for the block, then they lose their creature, and it is fine for me. They don't even know that I have, other things I could cast. I guess with the treasure, they can assume I have, but this is fine. I'm happy to get rid of the one token. There's not really any rush for me here with the... I mean, if I play the naturalist, it's not like it's a huge clock, it's just a 2-3. Okay, they have a Stitcher, so they might have a very big token coming up, but I do have the unfortunate accident to deal with that token. Alright, so I don't need to use the treasure now for this naturalist. I'm going to... well, just gonna play it anyway and see what I see here. Okay, I get a forest, that's nice. So... I think I'm still... now that I have another forest, the treasure has no purpose anymore. I can just, double spell everything here. I can try to run them over, but they are gonna make a turn. They will have a lot of board presence here now. I can only deal with one big token, but they're gonna get the 1/1 from here, the 1/4, and the big token, and whatever else they're gonna cast there. But it's not over, and currently my creature count in the graveyard is 2, so this is gonna get bigger. Oh, they're gonna get clues as well. That's not great for me at all. But I guess this is a small creature, and they're gonna get a 1/4 and a 1/1. Well, they can double block. I'm just thinking if I have a good attack, because I no longer have the Raven here to attack. Okay, they have a Electro Dominance, which they use to deal 2 to play the Razzle Dazzler. Okay, that at least won't be getting a counter, and then they have the Stitcher, which is gonna make a huge token, which I'm at least going to be able to deal with. But sadly they got the clue, so they are now... oh, they're gonna go for the race, which is kinda understandable, I guess. Because I don't really... yeah, because I can now attack with the Raven, that's that, but that's pretty much the only thing I have going on for me. There's no ground attack given that they have the 1/4 and all this. I mean, I can attack with both of these, but no, this will be a 3/3. They will triple block with these remaining guys, and I will lose my Hustler, and that's something I cannot afford. So let's just do this immediately, kill this guy, and hope they don't have a lot of spells to play. The Hustler and the Raven of Elomus is a nice combination. It's gonna make them lose 2 life per turn, while I gain one life per activation. And of course I will have 8 lands now too, so I can use this on my turn and on the opponent's turn, which means they lose 4 life per turn cycle. But of course they can just get rid of these things, so let's see if they are going to have a means to destroy something. Have I seen the white card in their deck yet? I have not. They do have a basic Plains, so I understand this could be played in a deck that doesn't have white cards, but they don't play a basic Plains in a deck that doesn't have white cards. Alright, so they're still going for the aggression. They actually cast no spells on their turn. So either they are actually flooding out or they have something in instant speed. I drew a nice card here though. So let's go for the Raven pump here. There's no, I mean, it's too risky to attack into that board. There's no, I don't need to attack into that board actually, because I have here a pretty decent, you know, clock here. But just doing this, this allows me to have mana for the, I can use the reach for the sky still here. Because the Malcolm isn't gonna outrace this thing. This actually gives reach, but I don't think I'm gonna play that into open mana unless I'm forced to. Now my plan is just to use the Blood Hustler on their turn. And this doesn't actually take long. No, they absolutely had nothing, because they didn't cast anything on their turn or on my turn. So this is, they are flooding out now. Kaiser Drake isn't gonna help them, because this is a 4 life loss per turn cycle for them. Okay, they can bounce that thing. And, well, I suppose I'm just gonna use this in response, why not? That's gonna buy some time for them, but they don't have that fast of a clock. They do have now block on the Raven of Fell Omens, but I can use the reach for the sky now. Because this will have 4 power and 4 toughness, so it will actually be able to deal with the situation. Now they have 2 mana left. That cannot be blocked. Ooh, are they going to leave both of those flyers to block? Okay, they are not. That's what I'm thinking, because the Kaiser Drake is enough to deal with the Raven of Fell Omens. I'm not attacking with the Naturalist. I'm going to pump the Raven, and I hope they don't have interactive spell for 2 mana. That's what I'm hoping. So let's do this. Okay, it seems like they have no priorities. I have 8 mana, so I can cast 2 of these spells. Reach for the sky and probably the Grizzly. Actually, with the Drake, they could have also cast a 3 mana spell on my turn, but, well, they had nothing. Now, they can attack for 4 in the air, they can make this unblockable. I'm not dying yet, though. And they, of course, do need to deal with the Raven of Fell Omens, and that is a good one. Although, with my Mercenary token, this actually will hit for 5, so it's not that great for them. Yeah, it's not a good blocker. They can double block the Raven, of course. But they choose to go for the aggression instead. So maybe they have a trick now somehow. Okay, well that's a good one. Now I'm gonna play this first, and I'm going to pump the Raven. And this is only ward 2, so I can actually use the 4 mana removal spell and pay for the ward. I'm not attacking with the Grizzly, there's no point doing that. They have to block, because this is actually lethal if they don't block. Because this actually makes them lose 1 life, and then this would be also making them lose 1 life. So let's see what happens now. Just a jump. Alright, I don't know why they did attack with the Malcolm there then. Because they could have double blocked and gotten rid of this thing. Maybe they have a way to win immediately, but I have my removal spell to stem the bleeding if they're gonna make like an all-out attack. Okay, Sword of Wealth and Power. That's a good reason to have the unfortunate accident here. So they can still... Oh, this will have protection from instant and sorceries. And this equip cost is 2. Yeah, I think it's still worth just doing this. They can equip it on something else, but it's not actually gonna be able to go through, because I can block their ground guys, unless they have like a cheap spell, and then they can make this unblockable. But even then, it doesn't matter, because this, isn't, it's not gonna be like a hit the opponent once and you win the game. It's greatest when they have some post-combat instant and sorceries left to cast. But they obviously had nothing now. Okay, that was that. Okay, it's been a pretty clean run now. Let's see if the final match is gonna be as easy as the previous two. On the play again, and not the greatest hand, but I'm actually keeping it. I'm on the play. I can have some early damage with this, thanks to these lands, if the opponent doesn't remove it. I have both colors. I have a double black here, triple green. This will be miserable if I happen to draw many lands here, but of course that's always the risk when you keep a 5-lander. And of course I didn't want to play turn 1 Jagged Barrens or Bristling Backwoods because I want to benefit from the triggers. And now that you know this happened, that I drew a second copy of Raven here, this is pretty darn impressive. These are gonna, you know, add up and quickly. I have now 2 power in the air, another trigger for these things on the next turn. Unless I need to have an untapped mana for the reach for the sky. Well, that is actually interesting. Now, I guess because of the honest Rutstein, if one of these things dies, it doesn't matter. That at least gives me something to cast on the next turn. So let's go for this. I will not play a spell this turn cycle. It's not that likely that I need to reach for the sky. I mean, it's possible that you try to use a burn-based removal spell here, but like I said, one of these going to graveyard isn't a big deal because I can bring it immediately back. I would actually want to play this. Now, of course, you can just play this as a 3-2, but there's no reason to do that right now. Okay, now they have a clock as well, and I'm gonna just go... Okay, that's funny. No triggers for them right now, though. I'm gonna go for the reach for the sky, just raw on the Raven here, adding... I'm at 21, I'm not dying anytime soon, so I'm just going to go here and just go for this thing. And now on the next turn I can win, potentially. I mean, I would need a crime for that, of course, but I mean, I'm at 21, they have 8 power, I go to 13. Even if they have pump effects, I'm not concerned. And if they kill this, I get the card. And this can bring the Raven back. So they surveil the Jolene away because that's not what they need. They need something that deals with my stuff. Or something that actually gives them a win like on the next turn. That's another brute. Okay, that's impressive. That is impressive. Oh, they have a lot of trample. I need a crime. Without a crime, I might just lose. That's not a crime. Okay. Assuming they will be able to settle this very easily. I'm looking at 3, 13, 17 trample damage. And I can deal 5 to them. And I don't have the crime. I can try something... Do I have creatures that commit crimes? Because I could play the Burrow Fiend. I don't have mana for all this though. I could mill something and bring it back, but I would have to do it in awkward order. I couldn't use the discount from the Honest Rutstein on these things. So... Yeah, the Grizzly here is also pretty problematic because it can give all of their things trample. I don't think it necessarily matters that much, but yeah, this is now 5 damage in the air. There's no way to deal the blast damage. I'm thinking what to leave as a blocker here. The 4 power, I think I need the 4 toughness creature here. I'm going to just do this. I don't know if this is smart, because now they have a healthy life total here. But I feel like I need to do this. Yeah. Alright, let's see. I do get a card from the Raven if I have to trade it. I have here 6 toughness now. They can use like a throw from the saddle on the Raven. And of course the sad thing is that my attacks wouldn't be lethal. Because I have only 2 powder in the air. I guess we'll see how many blockers they're gonna have. If they attack with everything... Okay, well, betrayal... That was not great. So now... But at least they are tapped out, so I can just do the math here. This is not having trample right now, so that's 10 from trample. I have to... Yeah, I have a lethal attack here, counter attack, but sadly I cannot... I must trade here. So let's see, the smartest way to do this is I have to take the 10 here. Blocking those things won't matter because they have trample. And then I will take 3. So I do need to block the Grizzly and then one of these. Now the way to do it is this and this. Because now I take 12, go to 1. And now this is 4 damage I have remaining because this Rutstein will survive. So with the crime I will win still. Because I have 1 Raven left. This is the best play I can make here. I just need a crime. Or a pump effect of some kind if I have those. That's not gonna do it. So another turn in a row where I could deal all but 1 damage that I need to deal. That was well, it was a good showcase of how good the Hellspur Brood is. It's a really nice card because you can often play this as like a 3-mana spell and you get a lot of tempo quickly. A bit of a shame because having 2 turns with almost lethal is annoying, but it is what it is. Do I have any reason to do some sideboarding? I don't actually like the Raven too much against this kind of red-green decks because they will play bigger creatures faster than I. And the crime trigger isn't necessarily gonna matter that much in the race. I'm gonna cut one of the Ravens here. And I think I will play maybe something like a Tumbleweed Rising here. I don't have that many big creatures though. I mean, I can maybe like have a 3/3. Can combine with throw from the saddle. I do want to have some bigger bodies here, and that's not really. I don't have a lot of options here. Unless I want to just play another Tumbleweed Rising. It starts to be a little bit awkward for my curving out potential. I want to play some 2-drops here still. I think I'm gonna just do this small trade here. I mean exchange, not trade. Fake your own death versus Gold Rush. I don't think it matters. Alright, that is it. By the way, I haven't seen in the game, in the entire event, Hollow Marauder or even the Dance of the Tumbleweeds, which would actually be good cards to draw at some point. Anyway, this is my sideboarding. Yeah, this is not good. This hand doesn't actually do anything. Even if I draw the swamp, this doesn't do really anything. So I'm gonna mulligan now, and well, this is gonna be a keep. I need to be maybe a little bit lucky with my draws because these 2 won't be that great. That's definitely one of the least useful cards I could draw here. They have a warning, so I'm going to... This thing has vigilance. Okay, that is a good one. This thing has vigilance, so I'm not playing the Grizzly because I can't... I mean, even if I take the 2, it will still be available to block the Grizzly, so I don't want to make that trade, so this is easily the pick for what to play here this turn. Alright, well, I got the Forest. 2 relevant cards got milled. Not even... I mean, neither of those can be picked with my graveyard... recursion, so to say. I'm definitely gonna wait until I can do double mode for this. I don't even think... Because you can do this at 5 mana to get a 5/5 elemental. But I'd prefer to have do it at 6 lands, and I already have it. So I can get actually a 7/7. Oh, they have a green blade. No prior desets though, so it's not gonna grow that quickly. Let's see how... Okay, Tumbleweed Rising is really good with the Dance of the Tumbleweeds, of course. But I don't... Yeah, I'll just should play the Grizzly right now. because I'm not going to use the Dance of the Tumbleweeds on the next turn yet. If I was at 6 lands on the next turn, then I would have just plotted this thing. But next turn I can plot this. Yeah, I have actually gotten decent draws here, because these are big creatures and they are very nice against red-green, which doesn't really have destroy effects as much as something like white or black can have. Or white mostly has exile effects, but you get the point. Big creatures are effective against red-green. Gila-Causer, okay, they are gonna get a card from this thing. Do they play the Survey Land or something else? They do play that. That's gonna be a 2-3, and they choose to leave it on top. But at this point I don't know if they just need to have an additional land draw or not, so the information about them leaving the card on top isn't that useful right now. It's much more useful in a top deck war when you know that they definitely have something relevant for the next turn. Alright, so if nothing else, I'm gonna plot this thing. I know I could make a 4-4, but why would I when I can make a 7-7 on the further turn. Okay, this is a good draw. My draws have been definitely nice here now. I have no reason to initiate any kind of a race situation here. I'm going to block the Gila-Causer with the 2-3 because I'm assuming they're gonna go for the 2-for-1. Of course, they might just save the Gila-Causer and they can get further extra cards from it, but there's not much I can do about it because I haven't drawn my removal. I have milled one of my removals though. But next turn I will have a 7-7 and a 7-7. So that's going to be useful. Okay, show off. No, not a show off. So now if they have like a... Well, they can deal a lot of damage in the air. But I guess not on this turn, unless they like do like a snakeskin whale without responding to my things. But, well, I guess they can still have it. Make this into a 5-3, so... Another Gila-Causer. Okay, based on the priority skips, it seems like they have nothing. So the Grizzly isn't gonna get much better trade than the Green Blade here, because the Varmint will always be there. So let's do this, and hope that the 7-7s I have coming up will be good here now. Guess I'm gonna get the desert here. And then I have this as a 5. Yeah, I can double spell on the next turn. That's gonna be nice. If they want to play this, they have to play it on this turn because it's just a temporary play available. Now, usually red-green has trouble against stuff like 7-7s. Maybe with one exception, green can have death touch and then a bite or a fight effect, I guess, too, but they don't have a death toucher right now. And I'm still at 18, although these things can deal a lot of damage quickly. But they can have like a jump block with the Varmint. Okay. There's no reason to show the Marauder to them yet. Okay, that's actually gonna help me. That's gonna trigger from the Marauder. This effect does target. Let's just attack, of course. I'm gonna go for damages here. They go for a jump block. Oh, if they go for a double block there, I'm very happy. This is really good for me. They have only 2 cards. I'm still having these, you know, this 1-7-7, and I can do this and the Marauder here, and they have to discard one of their cards, so they will have only 1 card. I get this nice trigger here too. I guess I could have played this, but I like to have the trigger. Also, the Marauder can now block one of the show-offs, and they choose to discard. If it's something that costs less than 4, I get to also draw a card. Okay, Jolene. I could play this, but doesn't really benefit in any way. So they chose to keep something else than Jolene. I guess this Jolene isn't the greatest in this current situation here, so maybe it's not like anything too amazing, but they could have the, you know, that one of their creatures deals. Okay, well, they can have, for example, that. And that's gonna be allowing to make them more jump blocks for the 7/7 in here. But they don't have a good attack in the air either. I guess they do with the pumps. Yeah, alright. They can do that. So how do I... Do I just want to trade immediately with one of them? I think it makes... does it make sense? Because I can now attack for 5 in the air. So I'm going to 13. Am I gonna die on the next turn? If they have like multiple... Let's see. All the outlaws will have haste. So what I can do, because I'm assuming they don't jump block with the 2/4 here, I could make them go to 6. But if I'm at 13, they already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and then any trigger for this will be... it's kinda risky, but I will have a jump blocker at least, if nothing else. So I'm gonna go for no blocks in here, and I'm gonna go for full aggression. Land is not what I needed here, but I will go for... Okay, they go for the jump block, so they won't have any more haste for the outlaws. That's something at least. But I'm... Well, I mean, let's see if they ever get any triggers for this, because they haven't yet gotten any. Again, they went to combat without pumping, so they want to have a jump blocker. What's this? They are... Oh, did they accidentally go to combat and they were trying to pump now? Yeah, they did. Because they tried to attack with this, they clicked them. Probably with the intention to pump their thing. Okay, lookout is... You know, the good thing about this thing is it has reach. Saddle is 2. Do I want to have my reach guy? I could saddle, but I kind of want to have the... Yeah, because I'm not going to saddle with the Marauder, because the Marauder is 4 damage in the air. And I want to have the reach blocker here for the slick shot show-offs. I will attack with the Burrowfiend. If they want to double block it, I'm fine with that. Because then they wouldn't be able to jump block the 7/7. Okay. Now I'm actually in a very good shape. So whatever they had a good start. I mulliganed to 6, but I had a very good set of draws in the end. The double 7/7 really made it. I don't know if the opponent could have maybe done... They started double blocks early. Maybe it was necessary for them, but they maybe could have tried to raise me somehow. Because slowing down when I have access to these 7/7s is not going to be that great for them. Anyway, I'm not playing the game for them, I'm playing the game for myself, on my own side. Let's see, did I find... Yeah, the Gilacosers. Yeah, now I'm missing on the Desert Stew. I at least passed one of them. That would be very good on the Gilacosers, but it is what it is. I have to figure out if I should... Yeah, but I'm not convinced that the Raven of Fellowmans is great in this matchup. It's just something I can do on turn 2. The Skullduggery, I mean, it doesn't have to always have a 1 toughness target. It's also decent trick, maybe. Because I really don't know about the Raven. The 1/2 body is so bad at blocking. I think what I'm actually interested in is another copy of a Reach for the Sky. I'm cutting one of the Raven of Fellowmans here. Now Skullduggery doesn't seem that great. Gold Rush. Nah. This is the deck for the final game in this event. Alright, I'm getting a good hand here. Both colors, 3 lands, a 2-drop, even though I have cut them. And I have now a decent enough Tumbleweed Rising coming, because I can make this into a 5/5. It will take some time, of course, but well, not that much. This can be my plot on turn 3, assuming they have nothing. Okay, no green yet. Removal? No. So plot Tumbleweed Rising, then plot these, and turn 5 I can have 2 5/5s. Although with that thing I'm not gonna give them, scratch that for sure, because, well, I can also just do it so that this is gonna be, you know, plot on the next turn, and then on the turn 5 it will be a free cast, and then I can play this, you know, hard cast it. Anyway, I will not let them have access to all these extra treasures and, you know, ping potential and whatnot. That was definitely a necessary removal spell to use there. Yeah, let's see what's their... okay, that thing has also reach. That's a really good card, I hadn't seen it. Also has ward 2, so I cannot use this yet. Anyway, it's not the end of the world, because I will have 2 5/5s. I have to take a bunch of damage, especially if they have like the 5/4. It will have haste, and, well, trample isn't even necessary, I mean, meaningful here, because I'm not gonna jump block. So I might take like 9 damage here. Let's see if that's gonna happen or not. The good news is I have a turn 6 unfortunate accident on this, although it's possible I will just, you know, use it on the brute here, but I'm exactly, like I said, I'm taking 9 damage, unless I jump the 4/4, which I don't think I wanna do right now. Okay, that's actually perfect, because now I can cast this and the Tumbleweed Rising. Let's start with this. Oh, they have a castable. It could be the first strike thing. Oh, that's something to keep in mind. Hey, my murderer. Well, I guess I also milled 2 lands, which is nice. Let's do this. Yeah, they might have the first strike trick. Alright. Well, I'm still attacking for 1 with this guy. I don't think I'm gonna jump with that. I can double block. Next turn I can unfortunate accident the brute. If they have like another brute or something like a Cactarantula, then it starts to be rather annoying, especially if they have the 1 mana trick that makes it harder for me to try to trade. Now if they do attack with the Cactus Folk Sure Shot, I will just double block it with my 5/5s, and I think I'll take the 5 from this guy. If they only attack with the brute, not sure how I should do it in that case. I could still double block it. But let's see if they have any other hasters to bring. That will have haste, but they probably will not. Okay, they actually can also saddle it up. That was a good set for them. But they actually, well, no, it's not, because now unless they have a land drop, they don't have a good attack with the Courser, because I can just eat it. It is 4 power. No. 4 power, no more than that. So that's... So do they have like a mountain here? Okay, so now I'm not concerned at all. I can just trade with the brute, and I think I'm gonna use the 5/5 commando, because I have a card that can bring back stuff from the graveyard. So let's do that instead. They did not attack with the 1/2 for some reason. They probably should have. There's one of them. Okay. I am not going to attack. I'm gonna play it a little bit slower. I'm gonna get this guy back. I'm gonna plot it. And no attacks. This is also gonna give them more attackers, surprise attackers, so it's better to play it safe now that I still have all these resources left. Okay, prickly pear, that's fine. Those won't have haste, they cannot use the pump ability right now. And again, the Gila Causer can be saddled up, and I have a feeling they have the first strike trick, which means that I have to block it with the 5-5 and the, okay, well that is okay, they have that thing, so so they're pretty certainly going to have the first strike trick now. I kind of want them to use it. Alright. Alright, how to do it? I wish I had mana here. Well, I would have to have a lot of mana for the accident. Yeah, they are going to have +1/+1 and a first strike on their guy. So I can do a few different things, but nothing is like super amazing. I'm still wondering why they didn't attack with the show off. They actually would get the pump even. Okay, I need to do something. So dealing with the sure shot seems like a good idea. But I would have to like quadruple block it. I probably have to do it like this. Okay, I'm doing it like this. Now the first strike trick actually is... No, it doesn't work. Oh man, I'm losing my time. It will have 5 toughness, so I cannot do that. Alright, I have to do it like this. This is gonna play around the first strike trick. But they can just choose to trade with the 1-1 and the 2-3, and I don't like that. But it is what it is. I'm gonna block it like this. Because they don't have... Okay, they will use the trick. Hopefully it's not something I didn't realize. I'm assuming it's the +1/+1 and first strike. They will kill the 5-5, and then I will have... This will be a 5-3, but these remaining guys will deal the 3 to deal with the causer. So, I mean, that's still gonna be a good for me. Yeah, that's the quick draw. Why didn't they attack with that thing? This is actually fantastic. I got a 2-for-1 out of that. I'm still potentially... Oh, that's a nice one too. Let's play this. I have to be careful about this thing grinding haste and trample their big guys, but I'm happy to have the lookout in here now to deal with the show off. Can I afford to attack here? With me being at 8, it's not really worth it right now. I'm going to wait for a little bit. Maybe they run out of cards or something like that. They might have the thing that makes the sure shot deal 4 damage to 2 of my creatures. And it has ward 2, so I cannot respond with the unfortunate accident. Now will be okay. This is pretty clear now what they have. They're gonna kill. Okay, maybe. Okay, I don't know anymore. Okay, well, they are going to have something, and I'm going to just gonna use the commando here, I think. Just do that and do that. I mean, let's see what happens now. If they have a pump effect on the sure shot, well, Ward 2 is really nice there. I still felt like I wanted to play the lookout. Of course, I had the option to not play the lookout and have mana up for this plus with the ward cost. So maybe I was a little bit too hasty. But I was just wanting to really have also an answer on the show off, because this can deal a lot of damage in the air if I don't block it, and I didn't really have a good block that involves only the Raven here. The derailment on that thing. So now is my chance to use this removal on the show off so that I can get a land, but I think I'd rather have the 1/1. Okay, I'm gonna let that happen now. And this is okay, this is fine. That trade there was fine, and now okay, throw from the saddle. That's useful. I'm going to need some blockers here. Okay, let's try this first. I'm not gonna attack with the naturalist here. Let's do that. But I am going to attack with the raven, and I'm gonna pump it as well. So, and of course they can pump the prickly pear, but I will just block it anyway. I don't care if these guys trade and they are left with 1/1. I have a removal on their thing, and this removal will in fact give me a token too if I don't have to. Well, the difference is that if they have a ward creature, then it wouldn't work for me. But let's see what they drop here now. If anything. Okay, that sounds good for now. Ooh, is this like the first time I see this guy? Just attack with both, right? I'm not gonna have mana for this, but of course the 7/7 ward 3 is really difficult for them to deal with as well. They got the Posse boss, but that's not gonna win by itself. I mean, I can block, even if they attack with all these, I can block one of them and I go to 7. So, yep. So here the way to do it is just make them, they will need to start jump blocking, and that's fine. I'm not sure if I'm yeah, I guess playing the Grizzlies, because if I want to use the 5 mana mode, of course in that case I can't cast the Grizzly, but if I cast the Grizzly I can use the 4 mana mode and not get the 1/1 here. I'm gonna still do it like this. I'm not gonna kill the Grizzly unless I mean, sorry, the Hellspur Posse boss, because I can trade with the Grizzly here on it, so this is fine. Okay, so now, okay, that's fantastic. So here what am I doing is actually just give this guy, give every, this you know, gives every creature trample. That's huge. So let's do it like this, and then the jump block won't be good enough. And I have the, I think I have the, yeah, they, you know, didn't draw the spells they needed here. That's gonna trample over. This will be 3 damage. This is 4th, and this will be 2. That's 6. So if I play the fake your own death on the Grizzly, that's actually not lethal. So what, in that case, I'm just gonna go for this, because I will trample, of course, now 7 here. So this is gonna be lethal. All right. I might have gotten a little lucky because, let's see, I assume the opponent has just a land in their hand. That's 21 cards in deck, assuming they played a 40 card deck. They like drew more than half lands, I think. It's okay, they have one in here, but we thought that was surveilled or something. I don't know. Anyway, they drew a lot of lands, and if they had a couple of more spells, maybe this would have been a lot more difficult for me to win. Alright, that was a trophy run. The deck actually was, I think, quite good, but funnily I didn't win, you know, in the way I thought I would, like have like kind of a Rutstein chains, you know, Rutstein into Rutstein, for example. I never got that. I didn't get the bonus surprise for a Rutstein or something like that. I thought that I might be winning with that kind of stuff, but in the end I just you know, had a few removal spells that I was able to use on critical things, and then had enough big creatures of my own to have the bigger board that was able to push for damage without the opponent being able to interact. Yeah, but I didn't need any like a mythic bomb. I don't think there was like any bomb in this deck. The commando can be, the lookout can be quite good, but it didn't even get me that much lands. Did it get any lands? But yeah, regardless, that is it. I'm happy about the deck, but I didn't win in a way that I thought I might be winning these games. And that is the end of this video. I will have one more Outlaws of Thunder Junction draft coming on the channel. So after that, then I guess the next set releases. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.